So about 4 months ago, I walked out of prison after losing everything, right? Six-figure cleaning business, all my clients, my money, but most importantly, my freedom. They put an ankle monitor on me and sent me home. Now, most people would make excuses, but I decided to build something of value, right? This is my story. We're going to call it part one, the before. So I grew up in West Baltimore, Emerson Village, right? Raised by my grandmother because my parents, I'm guessing at the time, was still young and wasn't really that mature, right? So she raised me right, took me to church every Sunday, values, respect. But when you're young and you see the older guys in your neighborhood getting money, get respect, nice things, you want in. So eventually I got in, right? I started hustling for them and then eventually started doing my own thing. And as time went on, then reality hit. So early 2006, I got arrested. My first handgun charge, right? Then later that year, got arrested on a wiretap. I ended up around 18, 19 years old, sitting in Baltimore City Jail for 8 months. When I got out, I tried to find a job. I applied, but wasn't hearing nothing back. And of course, because of the criminal record. Doesn't matter I was young, the system don't care. That's first and foremost. So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I'ma hire myself. I read a book, right, that taught me about different businesses. And one business I started, my first business was a lead paint inspection business, right? I finally was going to be my own boss, right? Making my own money legally. I did it, right? And this was the first taste I ever had of entrepreneurship. But I was young and didn't understand business like that. So that business didn't last that long. And then my best friend was murdered, right? Then also some more years after that, my baby brother was murdered, right? And I'm from Baltimore. If you're a Baltimore man, you understand that loss is a part of growing up here, right? But those losses changed me. They changed me a lot, right? I did some things I ain't always proud of. I did some things that I'm proud of. I started two different businesses, a mobile car wash, then a car wash with some friends. But the most important business was in 2019, I started a cleaning business. So 6 months in, I got my first big contract at an apartment complex doing move out, move in cleanings. And then a shooting happened and two guys with me were shot, right? They both live, but one I watched bleeding on the ground, eyes rolling in the back of his head. He probably died 2 times at that point, right? Then a bullet ricocheted off a pole and hit me in my foot. I was shot. Now I couldn't walk. Now I couldn't work. Now I couldn't clean this new contract I got. And I thought, this shit is over. Every time I try to do right, some shit happens. But you know what? I didn't quit. I healed, I got back to work, and I went hard, right? I started grinding. I was working 7 days a week at one point, every single day, grinding hard. Sometimes I had friends help, but mostly it was me. And you know what? Within a couple of years, I was making over 6 figures annually, right? 6 figures annually from a business I built from nothing, just an idea, just a thought. So now I had my house, I had my cars, I had money in the bank, investments, providing for my daughters, right? At this point, I hadn't been arrested in over 18 years. 18 years. So I thought life was good. I was proud. My grandmother was proud. My close friends was proud, right? I thought I made it. I thought I was finally in the clear. But here's what I learned the hard way. It doesn't matter how far you've come. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing right. If you keep the wrong people around you, it can all come crashing down. Don't let that go over your head. Because on Father's Day 2024, waiting on my two daughters, right? I was supposed to get them. I had a small altercation, neither here nor there. Police showed up. I was charged with my second handgun. I lost my house. I lost my business. I lost my money. but more importantly, I lost my freedom. I got 10 years all suspended before and did 15 months in prison, right? And now I was sent home on this home monitor for 1 year. That was about 4 months ago. And now I got a few investments, but practically I'm starting from zero. So I'm gonna start the video right there, right? We're gonna call this part one, the before. And maybe tomorrow I'm gonna drop the part two, the fall. I ain't gonna get too much into what happened, but I am gonna get into what I learned and why I'm telling you this story. So make sure you follow me, right? Because you need to hear this.